Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. My name is Abigail Freshley.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is a show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes from some of our favorite books and how those themes show up in real lived experiences.
On today's episode, we are actually finishing up our 3-part series on the complicated and nuanced book series, Harry Potter.
But first, if you enjoy our podcast, please support us in a few simple ways. You can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let us know that you love the show.
We'd also love for you to follow us on Instagram at Redirect Podcast. And finally, if you really, really love a show, we'd love for you to share it with a friend. Sharing our show with a friend is the best way to help us grow our community of book-loving nerds.
Okay, just
we did not mean to be here.
When you were, right before we started recording, we were talking about how we're going to release these and how to space them out. And I was still thinking in my mind there was only 2 until you just said the 3rd installment. I'm like, oh, that's why we were talking about that. Yeah, that is kind of a lot. But I'm glad you're still here, you guys. Thank you for coming back for part 3.
And we have 3 books to talk about. And coincidentally, they are the 3 longest books of the entire series. So we are determined,
buckle up, baby,
like, to A, move through this faster, but B, we're just going to be here until the episode is over.
Yeah. So buckle in, lock in.
Last time we said that we would be raising money for the Trevor Project through July 15th. I'm just going to go ahead and push that. As long as we're still releasing Harry Potter episodes, we'll still be raising money for the Trevor Project.
Yeah.
So just basically whatever, like, 2 weeks past this day is that this was released, we will be raising money for the Trevor Project
through
August
12th.
Yeah.
12th.
And still the deal is, if you donate via the link in our bio, don't donate anonymously. Donate with your name or your Instagram handle or something like that, so that we can enter you into a chance to have your favorite book discussed on the podcast.
Yeah. And you can donate anonymously, like you said, and DM us. So if you want to
totally. If you want to be humble,
a silent philanthropist, you can
we'll keep your
still
secret.
DM us.
Or if you feel like it's not safe for you to publicly donate to the Trevor Project.
Fair. Yeah.
That's fine.
Happy extended Pride to the podcast, the Redirect Podcast, into
a state
August.
of mind.
Anyways, part 3. I really didn't think when we started that this would be 3 parts. I thought maybe 1, maybe 2, but here we are.
Yeah,
and these are the longest. So let's go. Let's dive
All right,
in.
so we left off. We're picking up at book 5, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So Voldy is back. He's back in his bag.
Baby.
He is hot girl summer of 2004 or whatever this is.
Embodied summer. No more fetus body summer for Voldemort.
Yeah. So Harry is yet again back in Little Wing. How did the British say it? Little Wing. Someone British explain us. Okay.
Yeah. Do we have any Brit
he's with
listeners?
Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon, and he's chilling, and then Dementors roll up. We established already Harry does not like Dementors. No. Sorry, it just reminded me of Prison Mike when he was like, the Dementors.
The Dementors. The worst part about prison.
No, not from Harry Potter.
The worst thing about prison was the Dementors. They were flying all over the place, and they were scary, and then they'd come down and they'd suck the soul out of your body, and it hurt!
Dementors like in Harry Potter?
No, not Harry Potter. There are no movies in prison.
Okay, so they roll up on Harry and Dudley.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to say another thing that I've never really thought about that's problematic about Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. But Dudley sucks because he's a bully, not because he's fat. But he also happens to be, all of them happen to be fat.
Yeah.
So
I think it's also obviously J.K. Rowling definitely did that because he's very much described that way in the books. It's not just like a casting thing, but I think it's supposed to be well, Harry's being starved to death, and it's so definitely a contrast, but it's that's not why they're bad,
Yeah, totally.
Great clarification.
So Harry has no choice but to do a Patronus charm. To save him and Dudley from getting the Dementor's kiss. And that is a violation of magical law because he is not 17. So he is whisked away to London and he has to stand trial in front of like this courtroom of, you know, very serious looking witches and wizards. And who shows up to defend him than good old Albie Dumby?
The Wizarding World needs to like chill a big one on this underage magic thing, because to me, there seems like there are so many scenarios where this could happen. It's obviously a very dangerous world. Things are always happening to these people. Like, is it really that big of a deal? I feel like this should be a straightforward thing. Like, I don't feel like he should have to stand trial as a minor for this incident. Is, you know, maybe it's not allowed.
I would
they
say
could be like, hey, don't do that.
In the Muggle world, this would be an instance like, you're like 15, you don't have your driver's license yet, but your little sister or brother like had a serious accident while you were at home watching them, and somebody had to take them to the hospital.
Yeah.
And like, you have no choice.
No prosecutor is going to be like, we're going after this kid to the fullest extent of the law for this. But
right.
I think they're also just like, we're going to silence you, Harry, because you're
it's
trying
really
to overrule our fake news that Voldemort is not back.
He's being #censored. Yeah. And because he's saying the Dementors were there, and they're like, well, the Dementors are under the control of the Ministry of Magic, so how would that be possible? Yeah. And you're lying, Harry. Yeah. And that's when we meet good old Dolores Umbridge.
The worst.
Who is part of this hearing. She is
Dolores,
so evil.
No one in a book has ever, or probably will ever, make me as angry as Dolores Umbridge, because there is nothing that makes me more upset than someone like who, I don't know, like the sense of injustice of Dolores and the things she does and the control she tries to implement. And again, why is Dumbledore allowing this to happen? I don't know.
Right. Like I understand that he starts losing his political influence around this time because people think people don't want to be frank about the fact that Voldy has returned. But yeah,
she's
whatever.
the worst.
So whatever. Dumbledore won't look at or talk to Harry.
Right.
During this whole trial.
So maddening.
It doesn't explain why, and then just like skeets out of there.
Yeah.
Then Harry's like, well, that was weird. Okay, whatever. Gets to school, and Dolores Umbridge has been appointed the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Yeah.
Very annoying. Very annoying. The worst. The worst Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, including Snape, you know? By far. Yeah, so she doesn't want to teach them how to use defensive spells, basically, and they don't like that because they know they're going to war, but she's like, no, we're not doing that. And then
so she's basically just having them like study theory, but like and write papers about it, but no practicing spells, no application.
Which is crazy. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think politicians are actually like this, so I get it. But Cornelius Fudge, like, what is his long game here? Because he knows in his heart that Voldemort is back. He has to know that that's true. Or at least that there's things are happening. The Dark Mark thing, the Triwizard Tournament stuff, like Cedric is dead. So there has to be something going on. And in his mind, like, the way to deal with that is just to deny it, but also to not prepare students in any way. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, but I think that's a realistic portrayal of a lot of politicians, probably, so I think that's fair. But
it's just like if I manage the BR, then the actual thing will go away, and that is not how it works. That is not the reality. So she gets more and more oppressive. She clearly doesn't like Harry. There's lots of like clashes between them. Also Fred and George storm out of Hogwarts in protest to like glory. Harry being suspended from the Quidditch team, and they go open their joke shop, which is cool. And Harry starts having these weird dreams.
Yes. What's up with these dreams? I guess it's because he's seeing a vision of what Voldemort's actually doing because their minds are connected.
Right. So this book is where we start getting introduced to the theme that, like, now that Voldy is back in a body, they there's something that's connecting them, but we don't know what yet. And so sometimes when Voldemort is seeing things or thinking about things, it comes through in Harry's mind, like this very intrusive vision. And he keeps seeing this vision of like the inside of the Ministry of Magic at the Department of Mysteries, where he enters a room full of dusty glass globes kind of things. And he always wakes up before he finds out what the dream means or what the spheres are signifying.
Right.
And then it gets more intense.
Yeah. It gets more and more intense. So one night Harry has a vision that he inhabits the body of a large snake and attacks Ron's father. And he wakes up horrified. He goes to Dumbledore. Finally, Dumbledore will talk to him now that he's useful to him. Again, Dumbledore won't talk to him when, I mean, I get why, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Also, the thing that's messed up is that Dumbledore knew from the start that this was probably going to happen. Didn't warn Harry about it, didn't tell him. He was only thinking about himself and was like, don't look at me because then Voldemort could like break into my mind. Like,
yes.
I want to protect myself from you, but I'm not even going to try and protect you from you. So
but the thing is, he could have started. So whatever, that turned out to be true. Mr. Weasley was attacked, and they are able to rescue him. But and then Dumbledore insists that Harry goes through occlumency lessons with Snape so that he can protect his mind. But the thing is, he could have, if he had this in his mind, which is why he was ignoring Harry, why he was not telling him everything. He obviously knew from probably Harry's birth and all that happened, or not Harry's birth, but when Voldemort first attacked. So why didn't he start him day one at Hogwarts in occlumency lessons, being like, we are going to teach you these things?
I don't know why that happens.
Anyways, why didn't he start him from day one teaching him? Because then maybe he would have actually been prepared by this book and none of this would have happened. But again, I think it's because he wanted to be like, oh, Harry can be like an insight into Voldemort's mind too. And maybe he can get us some intel. It's so selfish.
So Harry has to spend like one-on-one close time with Snape doing these occlumency lessons. Where Harry is trying to keep Snape out of his mind. And if you go on to read the sacred text of Manacled, you will get a very deep look into occlumency. But anyways, one time Harry kind of like reverses it on Snape and goes into his mind, and he finds out that his dad was a bully to him, and that maybe Snape had feelings for his mom. And he's like, and this is the famous moment in the movie where he's like, your father was a swine. Classic.
Yeah, and this whole time also the little group of kids has formed Dumbledore's army, and they're meeting secretly to practice defensive spells, practice dueling, all this kind of stuff.
Oh, and this is really cool. They find the room of requirement, or doesn't Neville find it? So it's this cool secret room in Hogwarts where if you're walking by it and you need something in particular, it kind of turns into that thing. So it's a place to hide something. It's a bathroom. It's whatever. And it turns into this really cool like training room with mirrors and props and all the mats and all the stuff you'd need to practice.
So anyways, he sucks at occlumency, Harry does, but his scar keeps burning every time he has powerful emotions. And eventually Harry has another vision of Sirius being held captive and tortured by Voldemort. Horrified, he becomes determined to save him. And Hermione is like, hey, this might be a trap, actually. Again, the only one with any common sense, but Harry's too worried about taking any chances. So he's like, gotta go, So and also Dumbledore resigns as headmaster, and Umbridge takes over.
Yeah,
so
everything's
basically
falling
the
apart.
worst possible things that could have happened to Harry at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, he sneaks into Umbridge's office and using her fireplace in like the Flu Network transports himself to 12 Grimmauld Place, which is Sirius's house and also the headquarters of the Order. And he looks for Sirius, and Creature, his house elf, tells Harry that Sirius is at the Ministry of Magic. Mm-hmm. So Harry returns to Hogwarts, finds that he and friends have been caught in Umbridge's office.
What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. And then Hermione convinces Umbridge to follow them into the forest where they came to be hiding a weapon for Dumbledore. Because they're like, we're Dumbledore's army. We're hiding a weapon for Dumbledore. And she's just kind of like improvising all of this stuff. Once they get in the forest, centaurs carry Umbridge away, and Harry and his friends climb aboard flying horses called Thestrals and speed off to the Ministry.
Which was awesome, by the way. When the centaurs carry Umbridge away, that was the best thing that's ever happened.
So this is where shit really starts hitting the fan.
Yeah.
They are ambushed.
Yeah.
Hermione was right.
What a shock.
They get there and everyone's trying to kill Harry. And there's like this like door there that if you fall through it, you die.
Yeah, which seems like
Why
y'all
do we
can't
just
have better protection around that. Like a glass cube or something covering it so no one can enter it ever. But no, it's just there wide open.
So a couple things happen. There's the sphere that he's been in his dreams is there. It holds a prophecy. Harry drops the glass sphere and it shatters, and Sirius is killed by Bellatrix Lestrange. You know what? Like, I think Bellatrix Lestrange is obviously insane and crazy and deranged, but I actually would argue she's not as evil as Dolores because she leans
At
into
least
the
she
evil.
has principles, yeah. Like
She's
she
just like,
stands for
I
something.
am evil. This is what I believe. And Dolores Umbridge has like this facade of like genteelness.
I'm
and
doing the right
propriety.
thing, but I'm just gonna do what I
Self-righteous.
powerful. Yeah, it's all for my own power. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate Umbridge, so I'll agree with that. Anyone. I think Voldemort's better than her.
Yeah, she's horrible.
She's the worst.
So the prophecy cracks open and it's like projected out loud, and it goes on to claim that Harry will either destroy Voldemort or be destroyed by him.
Yeah.
Dumbledore takes this opportunity to tell Harry why he must spend the summers with the Dursleys and little Whinging because Harry's mother died to save him. He's blessed with her love, a blessing that can be sealed only by blood. Harry's Aunt Petunia, his mother's sister, makes that bond complete by taking Harry into her home. To me, that's tenuous. That is a very...
At best. Again, I just think Dumbledore did the bare minimum, because if all it takes is a blood relative, there is no way there's not like a cousin, you know, a great uncle, you know what I mean? Like some kind of, even if it's just blood, it only has to be a blood relation. I feel like there are other people that could have taken him in that wouldn't have literally locked him away, starved him at times, deprived him of like anything.
Yeah, abused
good.
him, neglected him, whatever.
Like there is definitely someone out there who would have done that. Or we've seen how scared Vernon is of wizards. Like why was no one checking in? Like someone could have checked in once a year at least and just made sure like, hey, are you being treated okay? Why is there no wizard social workers? So anyways, I don't agree with this. I mean, I believe that maybe this is fine. I don't totally get it either, because why is he okay for the majority of the year at Hogwarts? You know, like, why is it just the summers? Again, why couldn't he just stay at Hogwarts during the summer? I don't know. I have so many questions about this. I think Voldemort's right, or Dumbledore's right, but I think he didn't explore the possible options besides this horrible home environment.
I think for all of her planning and plotting out these payoffs that happen in the book, some of it is a little bit tenuous, and like the myth of it all is not perfectly explained.
Yeah.
So,
and now this is the first time where Dumbledore actually kind of like explains something to Harry, and explains the prophecy, explains the, you know, power of love.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Sirius is dead. And again, this is what I talked about in our last episode. Like the Sirius Black arc to me is so sad, because it was finally someone who cared about Harry in like a complete unselfish way and just wanted to take care of him. And he had a little glimpse of that and was never able to really have it for very long. And then he's just killed right in front of him, you know,
it's
trying
brutal.
to protect him. And
it's brutal.
It's so bad.
And also, I don't know if this happens in the book. I think so. But in the movie, Sirius looks over and he's like, "Nice one, James."
Oh my
Harry.
God.
Oh my God. Sorry. Are you okay?
That part is so upsetting as well, because, you know, that's the whole thing too of him being like, oh my gosh, your Patronus is the animal that James used to shift into, and you look so much like him. I just can't imagine that. Like, he had all these best friends who were just killed in front of him, and then he comes back out of prison and meets the son of his godson, and he looks just like his best friend did. And it's like, then
I just think also like
that he dies.
Maybe it goes to show that Sirius is like more complicated than we think. Like, he never really saw Harry as a godson. He saw him as like just a continuation of his friend.
Yeah. I'm sure that was definitely part of it.
So
yeah,
it's tough. All right. We are on to book 6. We did pretty good with that. All right.
Great. Book 6.
So half of this is the best start of a book. Of these books, this is my favorite.
It's so good. And the movie, I know I said I loved the third movie, but this is definitely my second favorite for sure. Like, it's between those two, because the start of this movie is also
it's really
so
dark.
Good at capturing like, oh, the whole world is falling into darkness. So very good stuff.
So from a reader's perspective, you're coming into this and you're like, I'm pretty sure Snape is bad, but like yet to be confirmed that he's a Death Eater. But like, I don't know, in book 5 he was trusted by Dumbledore to do the occlumency lessons, whatever.
Yeah.
This book starts and it's Narcissa, which is Draco's mom, Bellatrix, which is Draco's aunt, and Snape are all together in a room, and they're all freaking out, and Bellatrix is like, will you make an unbreakable vow to Narcissa to protect the boy? And they're talking about Draco. And so we learn about these unbreakable vows, which also, if you're going to get into Harry Potter fan fiction, you need to know something about unbreakable vows.
Yeah, they're present.
They're very, very prominent. Oh my God. Our brains are so rotten. But anyway.
Yeah.
So they so basically the terms of an unbreakable vow are that if you break it, you die.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Like,
so,
you're making a promise that if you don't follow through, you'll die instantly. And I think it's described to be like a horrible, painful death or something. So yeah.
Right.
You don't
so
want to break
the terms of the vow are that Snape will protect Draco, support him in his mission from the Dark Lord. And if he fails in his quest to fulfill the mission, that Snape will complete it himself.
Yes.
So then cut to...
But you're like, what? What's the mission? I don't know.
We don't know.
We'll find out.
So cut to Dumbledore is heading over to Harry's house, still with Aunt Petunia and Uncle Dursley, and Uncle Vernon, to collect Harry from his aunt and uncle on the way to the Weasley's house. Harry and Dumbledore stop to recruit Horace Slughorn to return to teaching at Hogwarts. Very specific and very weird.
Yes. An odd scene as well.
Yeah, he was long ago a teacher at Hogwarts and has since retired, and his house is really weird, and he's like transformed into a chair. It's very odd.
Yeah. Yes, because he thinks Voldemort will come looking for him. So maybe there's some implications that Dumbledore is trying to get to him first or keep him away from Voldemort.
Yeah. So he
Anyways.
recruits him to come to be the new potions master because now it's like confirmed Snape is a baddie.
And he's going to be the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
Oh, so it's not confirmed he's a baddie.
No, that's just a vision that Harry has, right? Or somehow it's a scene we see. Yes,
we
it's a
see
scene
it.
not from Harry's point of view. Yes.
Okay, he's still a teacher.
Yes.
So Snape
he's
moves
gonna be
into
the
that
new
role.
Defense Against the Dark Arts. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Slughorn's gonna be potions master. Harry and Ron pull up to first day of potions. Oh, and also Dumbledore is like, Harry, I need you to get close to him and get him to really like you, be a star student, because I'm gonna need you to find out some shit about him.
Yeah.
And some things that he's done. So he's like,
yes.
Bet. Sounds good. So they go to potions.
Well, anything for you, Dumbledore, even though you've never done anything for me ever.
I know we're in a totally like transactional one-way relationship, and also you're kind of like grooming me in weird ways, but that's fine. Anyway, they get to potions.
Yes, Harry gets a secondhand textbook. that once
Yeah.
belonged to the Half-Blood Prince.
It's a property of the Half-Blood Prince. And then there's all these modifications to potions and all this stuff in there. And it's making him really good at potions. And he gets really into this book.
Yes.
Yeah. Concurrently, Dumbledore and Harry are meeting for these little like one-on-one sessions where they take some memories that Dumbledore has collected over the years and put them into the Pensieve. Emily, what is a Pensieve?
It's a we kind of reference this in our second episode about these books. Because you can pull out memories. Memories are like a tangible thing in this world, and you can put them in this little kind of a bowl, a well, a dish, a fancy dish, and you can put them in there and then kind of like put your head in there and you can see and experience the memory as it happened. So that's what we were talking about when we were like, why don't they just clear up Sirius's name by extracting his memories? Then you could know. So yeah, this is how you can do that. You can, so Dumbledore's been collecting like other people's memories. It's not his memories, but he's showing them to Harry and he can see kind of his life.
And the point of Dumbledore showing these to him is he's showing him vignettes through Tom Riddle, Voldemort's life, and things that are important to him or significant. And then we find out that when he was a student at Hogwarts, he talked to Professor Slughorn and asked him how to make a Horcrux, which is essentially a way to split your soul into and like put it into an object, and then you can't ever really die until all of those objects are destroyed, because this is like a scrap of your essence or being still lives on in an object.
Which is how he didn't die the original night when he attacked Harry, is because he still had some Horcruxes out there. Obviously, it seems a little odd of like, how did he live? We don't really know. Eventually he was on the back of Quirrell's head, and then he was a little weird baby thing. And then he became a person again. So it's not like you just respawn, but yeah, you are not fully dead either. So it's kind of odd.
So
they're looking for, they believe, 7 Horcruxes.
Yes.
And 2, the ring and the diary have already been destroyed.
Yeah. Like helpfully in earlier books. So
yes.
Well, no, just the diary, right?
I'm reading, it says 2 of these, Tom's diary and Marvolo's ring, have already been destroyed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes. Okay, so the ring is what, because I'm getting so confused between the ring and the locket, I think. The ring is what Dumbledore is wearing, and his hand starts going black.
Yes. So it's
he
not
must have
like
destroyed it, but it's also infecting him?
That's why I thought it wasn't destroyed yet, because I thought they had to figure out how to destroy them. And the only one that they had already destroyed was the diary. This
says that Albus did it like before the school year started.
Okay. So then he knew how to destroy Horcruxes and he didn't tell Harry.
He used the Godric Gryffindor sword.
Oh, but he said, I don't have that sword anymore. No, but he had it in his possession when he died.
Okay. So he put on the ring because he saw the resurrection stone on there and he thought he could use it to bring back his sister. So instead of destroying it immediately, he put on the ring, which started the curse.
Oh, the ring had the resurrection
on his
stone
hand.
like in it.
In it, yes. And then when he goes back to Hogwarts, he destroys it. But it didn't stop the curse. It had already given him the curse. And Severus had to stop the curse, but he said you only have a year to live anyways. And then Dumbledore kept wearing the ring, and he was wearing it when he picked up Harry Potter and went to Horace Slughorn, but it was already destroyed. And Dumbledore specifically displayed the ring to Slughorn in order to show him that he knew that he had it, basically. And that's that. Okay.
So the thing is that Dumbledore knew all along how to destroy the Horcruxes and never told Harry.
But I think he did tell him that the basilisk venom could destroy it, because Harry learns that at some point.
I thought Harry figures it out. Well, basically Hermione figures it out in...
Yeah, you're probably right.
In the Deathly Hallows, because they're like, I was reading about the Sword of Gryffindor. You use
You're
it
right.
to
You're
destroy
right.
the diary. It's
Dumbledore never
impregnated.
had time to explain. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Dumbledore
Sure.
simply did not have enough time.
This fucking guy.
That's what I'm reading.
He did.
I know.
God, I'm so mad. Okay. So
Yeah,
basically, yeah. So
because this would've
later,
been
when
the
we get to the
chance.
next book, Hermione figures out that the reason the sword could kill the thing is because he had stabbed the basilisk with it first. It absorbed the things that makes
Yes.
it stronger. It got the venom in there, and then
Yes.
now it's
Yes.
used to kill Horcruxes. Okay.
Correct.
So he did, like, this is stupid, and this is another reason. This is another reason that Dumbledore is the smallest man who ever lived, because
Again, yeah. Why didn't he just say, like, why they're having all these one-on-one meetings? They're looking back to try to find Horcruxes. Like, this is the time to be like, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, hey, by the way, I know how to get rid of them.
He knows. Yes. And he also knows, best case scenario, he's got a year to live. He's pretty sure, as we know later, not to spoil anything, but that this whole thing with the unbreakable vow with Snape, with Draco, with him, that Snape's going to have to kill him at some point very soon. Like, he knows he's about to die. So your time is limited. You're meeting with Harry one-on-one. Why wouldn't you say, this is the thing about the Horcruxes. By the way, you are also one. In a chill way,
then
you're
that,
going to have to die.
yeah, in the chillest way possible. But also, you have to kill all of this other. You have to kill him first. Whatever. I'm over it. Okay. So all the while this is going on, Draco is acting super sus. There's like this whole bit where like there's this vanishing cabinet that goes back and I know we love him and he's totally misunderstood. And go to archiveofourown.com to find out more. So, anyways. Okay. So, Harry and Ron and Hermione are like, Draco's hella sus. Weird stuff is going on. And also, Snape is always around him, helping him out. Like, Snape is also sus as hell. So,
we know Draco's family's bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't take too much to connect these dots.
He's got to be a Death Eater. Well, basically, also a subplot that's going on that we just won't get into because we don't have time is that like it's that Ron and Hermione are doing this whole like will they won't they thing. It's like they're dating
Ron's
other
dating
people.
Lavender.
They're jealous. They also Slughorn has all of these like dinner parties. He's inviting kids to whatever. He's a little creepy. That just seems like a little bit like weird.
Again,
right?
Dumbledore, what are you letting go on in your school? Like, yeah, it's not good.
God, okay.
It's not good that a professor of any school could just like pick out his favorite students and invite only those students to this exclusive club. Like, that is weird.
Yeah.
Especially at this level where they're all minors. Like, maybe in college, you pick out kids who are really interested in your subject or something and you're going to come study together. I don't know. But even then, it feels like it should be like, hey, come join my club.
Right.
An extracurricular activity, not some weird summons.
Elites.
It's weird. So
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And then like there's this whole subplot where like Ron is getting on the Quidditch team, and so there's all this stuff. There's all this very, very teenage angst, while they're also trying to handle these like super real things. So,
which is sad. Like, they should just be able to do this teenage angst stuff, not the Horcrux stuff. They should just be able to be kids.
right. And so speaking of traumatizing kids, Dumbledore takes Harry with him on this quest to go get where they believe another Horcrux to be. And this is a locket from Regulus Arcturus Black. Or they don't actually know. I didn't say that.
They don't know it's Dracula's.
They don't know, but they're like, oh, the locket should be there. They go to this place and Harry is and Dumbledore is like, Harry, I have to drink this like poison. No matter how much I beg, you have to keep force feeding it to me. He's 16. It is so...
Again, this is weird, man.
So, like, I don't want to kink shame anyone, but leave kids out of it. Like, what are you talking about? Okay. So he has to get traumatized by that. They find the locket, but guess what? It's a fake.
Yeah.
And inside there's a piece of paper and it's like, it's a note from someone named RAB. So that sucks. And then they get back to Hogwarts and Draco is going to kill Dumbledore on the astronomy tower. And Harry is watching, but then Harry disarms Draco.
Mm-hmm.
I think, right? This is important.
No, like, okay. No, Dumbledore is like, Draco, you don't have to do this. Like, you're not a killer. And we can protect you and we can help your mom. Because, again, his mom was being threatened. It is not his fault that he was going to try to kill Dumbledore. And then Draco's all like, I am a killer. I have the dark mark. And he shows his arm. And then Snape pushes him out of the way. And Snape kills Dumbledore. The whole time, Harry was frozen by Dumbledore. Like, Dumbledore froze him in place so he wouldn't come interfere. Because he obviously knew Harry's stupid and would interfere in this situation. And then he watches Snape kill Dumbledore. And that's
Except
when you
the important key
Snape
here that I was
is
trying to
evil.
remember is that Draco disarms Dumbledore on the astronomy tower, which is important because he disarms the Elder Wand from him.
Right.
And later in book 7, Harry will disarm Draco at Malfoy Manor, thereby making
and get
the Elder Wand his.
Yes, that's a key point. You're right.
So then, now Snape confirmed baddie, and he's just like skulks off, and then it's like, all right, it's really on now.
And this brings us full circle to my first exposure to the plot of Harry Potter when my friend was crying over Dumbledore's death when it first was released. Because he dies. And this was the one death I knew about, and it's still, even though I knew it was coming, it made me sad. And I didn't know when I first read these books that like Snape was going to kill him, so I was so confused and like I hate Snape and he's obviously evil. And I mean,
and
then,
she
they
really,
find out the note. Yeah, then they find the note from Regulus, R.A.B.
Yeah. What does it say?
Which is very
I swapped it
relevant
out.
in the fan fiction world.
Yeah.
From Harry Potter. What does it say? I don't even remember.
I think it's just like,
I know I will be
switched
dead
this
long
shit out.
before you read this, but I want you to know that it was I who discovered your secret. I have stolen the real Horcrux and intend to destroy it as soon as I can. I face death in the hope that when you meet your match, you will be immortal once more. It's kind of a fire note.
Yeah. It's very much giving
And obviously
the
that's
Count of Monte
Sirius's
Cristo.
brother. It is.
It's very like revenge arc. Okay.
You will meet your match once more. Yeah.
So, all right. Whoa, sorry. 7th book opens. And here we go. We come to our conclusion. We can do this. So 7th book opens.
It's like an all-out sprint from there.
Yeah, it's a huge sprint. So Snape confirmed baddie. He is sitting at a table with a bunch of Death Eaters. You're like, oh yeah, he's really freaking bad. He's actually bad. And he tells Voldemort and all the gang that he has intel on when Harry's friends are planning to move him from the house on Privet Drive to a new safe location, and so that they can ambush them and all this stuff. We cut back to Privet Drive, and Harry is like one day before he turns 17, which is when like the magical trace breaks on him according to wizarding law. And so all the gangs show up. He has sent his family off to go somewhere. He's like, you guys got to get out of here. I can't explain everything to you, but like, if you don't leave, you'll die. They're coming after me.
Which the most criminal cut from any movie was this scene where Dudley's like, I don't think you're a waste of space. Because it's like, yeah, they are just children. Like everyone in this book, again, I mean, whether JK intended to do this or not, it's like they are all just kids. Like Draco,
they're all
and
victims to their
choices,
circumstances.
Dudley and his choices, and Harry and his choices. Like they're all kind of being manipulated. They're all being influenced by adults, and like it's interesting how they all choose to act once they are not minors anymore. And Dudley like kind of being like, wait, maybe I'm not going to be like my parents. I don't know. It's just kind of a devastating moment.
And Draco too, in
Anyways.
some ways.
Yeah.
So,
and Harry.
So all these homies show up, including Mad Eye Moody, the Weasley twins,
The real one.
Bill, Fleur,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Hermione, Kingsley Shacklebolt, Tonks, Lupin. I think that's everybody. They have a
Yeah,
big
they're
brew
all
of
there.
polyjuice potion. They all turn into Harry, and they're like, when we fly up in the air, we're gonna have to take broomsticks and stuff like that. Like, they won't be able to tell who the real Harry is. And Harry's like, no, you can't sacrifice yourselves for me. And they're like, well, we are. So,
well, that's the plan.
they fly up in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, and Hagrid's there because
This was an amazing scene also in the movies.
It really was.
Because
the
such good
graphics started
acting
getting
from
so...
Daniel Radcliff. Yes.
So they get up in the air, and Voldy kills Hedwig, which is sad.
Devastating. Yes. But Harry's wand fights Voldemort off without Harry even doing anything. Weird.
Yeah.
It's a
and so
real Harry.
Voldemort's wand kind of like disintegrates.
Yeah. So they get to the Weasleys, and Moody is also dead, and George had his ear chopped off, which is really sad.
Yeah. There's a new minister of magic named Rufus Scrimgeour. I could never been able to say this. Scrimgeour.
Let's go with that.
Who shows up and he's like, hey, Dumbledore left you guys some stuff in his will. No explanation really, but he's like,
no. He had enough time to do a will.
Yeah.
But not enough time to
even do like a
explain anything.
Coded message. Yeah. To Ron, he leaves a de-illuminator, which like sucks light into a room, or like, and then like relights things. He leaves Hermione the Tales of Beetle and Bard, and Harry the snitch that he caught in his first Quidditch game. He also says that Dumbledore left him the sword of Gryffindor, but that it wasn't his to give. So,
right. So you can't have it.
Yeah. So that's not very helpful, but whatever. The Weasleys are also hosting the wedding of their son Bill to Fleur de la Cour. And Harry's like, I'm going to go off by myself.
Yeah. Like, I hate this. and he's mad too. Like, a theme throughout the beginning of this book is like, he's finally realizing that Dumbledore didn't tell him anything, and that he didn't know Dumbledore at all. And like, he didn't have any, like information about Dumbledore's past, or, you know, like he just realizes, oh, this was a very one-sided relationship. And he's getting like more and more angry about that throughout the beginning of this book. And the will items do not help with that.
Yeah, they're just so like meaningless to him and cryptic and whatever, but they're like, this has to mean something. So they're at the wedding.
This is where you get a lot of Dumbledore's backstory too, about his sister, his brother. Well, you don't know about the brother till later, and his past, and you know.
Oh, that he was
J.K.
from
Rowling would
Godric's Hollow.
retcon that he was gay. Yeah. That he's from Godric's Hollow, that his sister died, and that Dumbledore had dabbled in the dark arts as a young man. Anyways, the wedding is interrupted by like a Patronus showing up and being like, the coming from Kingsley Shacklebolt, and then the Death Eaters start coming, and then you find out Voldemort has taken over the Ministry of Magic and is in charge of the wizarding world. And so Harry, Ron, and Hermione dip out.
Yeah. Also, at this time, Harry has like started dating Ginny. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
That is
the best, the greatest scene in the movie, where they are kissing like in the breakfast. Yeah. I don't even remember it's Fred or George, but he's just like sipping his coffee.
Also, I just have to say, Ginny is is so boring.
In the movies, they really killed Jenny, because in the book she was like a part of Dumbledore's army, and like a dynamic person, and kind of like strong and independent and interesting. And in the movie, she's just like Ron's little sister.
White toast. It's just terrible.
I mean, I get it. You can't fit everything in, but it's just a bummer. She was really not done
to the point where you have a hard time.
Like, we can only have one strong woman.
Why
it's
she's
Hermione.
Appealing, yeah.
Right?
So they dip out. They go to the street in London, and there, Hermione reveals that she used the magical extension charm to turn her little clutch into like this huge backpack that has everything that they would need to live in the woods for months. And so that's convenient and cool.
Again.
And yeah, she's very smart and once again saving their entire lives. And then they go to number 12 Grimmauld Place, which is the headquarters of the Order, owned by Sirius, left Harry. And there they find information from RAB Regulus Arcturus Black about the Horcrux and the fake locket that he left behind. And then they come upon Creature, the house elf who lives there, and he's like, I know where it is, blah, blah, blah. And he orders Creature to find Mundungus Fletcher, who was the last person he saw with the locket, and bring him back.
Yeah.
Mundungus reveals that the locket was confiscated from him by none other than Dolores Umbridge.
She's back.
So now they have to figure out how to get the locket from Dolores.
Yeah, unfortunately, I guess she wasn't killed by the centaurs.
No.
They got to get it back. Yeah, so they kind of break into the Ministry of Magic again using Polyjuice Potion, which again, like,
this is
seems
so
like there should
dangerous.
be tighter regulations on this. But they sneak in to steal the locket from Umbridge, and then they start to see low-key the Ministry is prosecuting wizards who don't come from purebred families. There's like that also that I said prosecuting, but I meant persecuting. But isn't there like a statue now that has like the muggles being like crushed?
Yes, it's so gross. And
it's
then
really horrible.
Then like if you are not a pure blood wizard and you have a wand, they like confiscate it from you and stuff.
Yeah.
So they go there, they track down the locket, and they steal it from Dolores.
Then they disapparate back to Grimmauld Place, but they accidentally let a Death Eater in, and so that's when they begin their long camping journey. And they're like, I don't know, we don't know where to look, and so they kind of have to start searching for all the other Horcruxes based on no information from Dumbledore, who again knew he was going to die. But they're just kind of like piecing together. I don't even know. Like they start to coincidentally overhear things and figure out things, but they don't know anything. And this is when Ron ditches them.
Yeah, Ron is getting like frustrated and jealous and feeling not useful, and then he totally dips, and so then it's just Harry and Hermione. They go to Godric's Hollow, where they visit the grave of Harry's parents and see the house where he lived before Voldemort killed them. And then this old woman named Bathilda Bagshot leads them into her house, and they follow, hoping that because she knew Dumbledore, maybe she knows where the sword is. But she turns out to be dead. And her body is inhabited by Voldemort's snake, Nagini.
No.
Which is so gross and
so
scary.
Creepy. Yes. No.
So that's not great. And so they have a near scrape with death there. And then Harry reads the biography of Dumbledore, which claims that Dumbledore helped the dark wizard Grindelwald and maybe gay stuff as a young man and may have been responsible for his own sister's death.
What do you think about this? I feel like we have to talk about this because after all these books are published, J.K. Rowling comes out and punny. She comes out and says that in fact, Dumbledore was gay all along and had a relationship with Grindelwald as a young man. And that is not anywhere in the text of the books. I mean, obviously, you can project gay relationships
onto Harry Potter. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, do you think, like, I am not charitable towards J.K. Rowling, so I'm inclined to think she just said this to maybe get rid of some people attacking her for like lack of diversity or lack of, LGBTQ plus people in the books. I don't know what her thought process was, but what do you think? Do you think she went into this thinking like this is what actually happened, or do you think she made it up?
Well, to be charitable to her, I would say there's really no reason for it to come up. Like, why would Dumbledore just say to somebody like within Harry's earshot, since this is from his point of view, that
Sure.
Oh, hey, like decades ago, I had a relationship with Grindelwald, who's dead now. Like, that just doesn't seem likely,
Right.
especially since he's already so withholding about a lot of important information. On the other hand, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it is very convenient that you just decided to make him gay, but also, interesting choice of a character to make gay. I think, like, I don't think she meant him to be the villain, but he kind of is the villain.
No. Yeah.
So that's part of it.
And even in the text, I mean, if you look just at what happened with Grindelwald, sorry, my mic, he and Dumbledore is somewhat responsible for the death of his sister, and so it's like implied also, like, because they had this relationship that maybe Dumbledore was manipulated into doing something, or, you know, like, it caused the death of his sister, their relationship, one way or another, whether they were just friends. So that is also kind of odd. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's not like, I don't know. It's not like, it's not there, but it's not there. Like you said, it's just kind of either way. So
it's convenient and half baked at best.
Yeah.
At worst, it is pandering.
Yeah.
And we'll never know.
We'll never know. Anyways, just very interesting. And in, I'll say, in the Fantastic Beasts movies, which I have not even seen the most recent one, and that probably is where the relationship is developed more. I don't know. And they're no longer making those, but I do think in those it's like pretty explicit that they were in a relationship. So obviously she continued to double down on that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that in itself, I guess. It just seems, like you said, like, interesting choice, but I guess maybe you always saw that. But I do think, to be fair, she could have, in this biography, like, she could have put some speculation, because Harry's reading this biography and it's like pretty, it's not like a great look on Dumbledore. So I don't know. It just feels weird that it wasn't even like, was there something going on there? You know?
Also, we don't really have much insight within, like, the canonical world of Harry Potter about the acceptance of gay relationships. We never saw any other gay characters.
Right.
There were no husbands and husbands or wives and wives. There was no gay parents. There was no, like, so.
And in the world it's set in is like, during a time where there might have been, prejudice more so. Obviously there's still a lot of prejudice, but it's supposed to be like the 90s, right? So
so that might have been more of a like, it was maybe more taboo to talk about or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Because she'll certainly never probably talk about it. Anyways, they ultimately find the sword of Gryffindor.
This is important. So Carrie is like doing a watch shift with Hermione, and she's sleeping, and he sees a silver doe Patronus, which appears and leads him to the sword of Gryffindor buried beneath ice in a pond. Harry dives in, the locket Horcrux around his neck, tries to strangle him. Scary. And Ron, who has returned magically, saves Harry, recovers the sword, and destroys the locket. They don't know where the Patronus came from. No. Harry, Ron, and Hermione then take the locket. Or they destroy the locket. They go to visit Xenophilius Lovegood, who's Luna Lovegood's dad, because Hermione, in her brilliance, has discovered a strange symbol in the book Dumbledore left her, and they had seen him wearing it at the wedding. And when they go there, he tells them the story of the Deathly Hallows, inspiring. This was the shot heard around the world.
The tattoo.
In 2013 for white girls to get the Deathly Hallows tattooed on their ankle.
Honestly, I thank God every day I was not old enough to get a tattoo when I read these books, because I have a Pinterest board that is filled with like Deathly Hallows, the Always. There's one where it's like the footprints from the Marauder's map, which actually is kind of cute if she wasn't so problematic. But I mean, I feel for you guys out there who were older when you read Harry Potter, and who maybe have permanent body fixtures that you can't get rid
I
of.
would
without a
say
lot of
just
pain.
in general, like I never want to besmirch a young person to do what they want to do with their body. But I will say I'm really glad that I did not get the tattoos I wanted to get when I was 19. Because they are shocking to me now. And I would certainly not want them on my body now. And I guess you could say that from all ages of your life. But I would just, for any young people listening.
Wait till your brain stops.
I would say, wait till you're like 25.
Yeah. Then you're, it's a little better. Like maybe you might regret it one day.
You still might regret it, but like
problematic. But, who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
they learned about the Deathly Hallows,
and then
which
turns
is very
out
critical.
Also, Xenophilius Lovegood is like calls the Death Eaters to come get them while they're there because he wants to get Luna back because they had taken Luna, so they had to yeet themselves out of there.
Which is fair. Yeah. Again, they're always on the run,
but they were getting tracked, and so they end up getting caught by Voldemort's followers and taken to Malfoy Manor. When they get to Malfoy Manor, Bellatrix Lestrange tortures Hermione for information about where they got the sword that they are carrying, since she thought it was... Oh, how did they get the bank? How did they get the sword? Oh, no, it appeared in the pond. Duh.
Yes.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
So she thought it was safe in her vault at Gringotts Bank, and she's very concerned about anything else they may have taken. Dobby is there and helps Harry and his friends to escape along with Mr. Ollivander, the wand maker, Luna Lovegood, and Griphook the goblin. Harry takes them all to Ron's brother's Bill's cottage.
Man, and Dobby is killed. They don't even put this in the freaking Spark Notes that Dobby is killed. How dare you? How dare you disrespect him like that?
And he's
Bellatrix throws the knife. He died a free elf. That was so sad.
It was so sad.
Oh my gosh. That hit me. I mean, you should have known from the very start of this book. I mean, she tells you that this is going to be a serious thing because the first death is Hedwig, who's just an innocent owl,
They honestly,
and Madame Moody
it makes
dies
sense to kill Hedwig because Hedwig is going to give you away at every turn. You got to ditch the owl.
You can't bring her with you. But it's just like, it gets worse. Like, you don't even know how many people are going to die in this stupid book. Anyways.
So that's really sad. And then because they have Ollivander there and Griphook at Bill's cottage, they're able to consult with them, come up with a plan to get inside Bellatrix's vault because Bellatrix thought the sword was in her vault. So maybe there's other interesting things in the vault.
Yeah. And she was really concerned. Like, did you guys get it? How did you get it? So
yeah,
and something else in there.
There's obviously something else in there. And so they come up with a plan to break into the vault and steal the Hufflepuff cup, Helga Hufflepuff's cup from the vault. And then they escape on the back of a dragon. Lots of drama,
which is so cool. Very, very, this is like the big, I feel like, dramatic chase heisty scene in this book, or a movie too as well. Then they find out
Voldy is starting to freak out because he can feel parts of his soul dying.
Which you wouldn't think you could at this point, and so split up. But he learns through those freakouts in a vision that the final Horcrux is hidden at Hogwarts. So they go to Hogsmeade, and that's where they meet Dumbledore's brother, who is weirdly into goats, Aberforth.
Okay, while they're at his house, they have this portrait, and it's a portrait of the sister. And he sends her to go do something because in this world, like portraits can like do stuff.
Alive. Yeah.
And they bring back Neville, my king, my favorite character in the entire series, the unsung hero, the underdog.
He is. And again, it's someone who maybe like rose above who they were, or you know what I mean, like became more than they were, or changed
also I just love this whole thing that like Dumbledore was really rolling the dice. Like, okay, well, Neville could have easily fulfilled the prophecy. He has a really close birthday to Harry.
Right.
But so he very much could have, except that Voldemort basically decided he wanted to try and kill Harry.
Yeah.
And so if he had decided
if
he decided he wanted to kill Neville, then Neville would have been Harry Potter.
Right.
It would have been, Neville Longbottom and the Sorcerer's Stone. And so I just love that potential is always there. And I like that it makes Harry a little bit less special.
Yeah. I like that as well. It's not like anything inherent to Harry, actually.
It's just
which is also a good, kind of lesson. Yeah, it's like he was forced into this role and that, you know, he wasn't born to be this person. He was chosen and forced to be, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So love that.
So then they're looking for the lost diadem of Ravenclaw.
Yeah. So
Hogwarts.
So they
Neville comes and lets them in.
and he's like leading this resistance within Hogwarts. It's so cute. And so he starts looking for the diadem, and they find out that Voldy's on his way. And
I legit remember the day that the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 trailer dropped, and there's like some line in it that's like, prepare the students or something, we're getting ready to fight. I don't know, but I just remember how like hype I was when I heard that. It was like, I'll never feel that way again, probably. It's just so amazing. But yeah, this part is so like, what's gonna happen? Like, the students are getting ready, the teachers are getting ready. I think like all the Slytherins leave.
Yeah.
Like, why are we letting this house run rampant in Hogwarts? I don't
Again, this is totally preventable. Voldemort and his followers attack the school in a great battle, and Harry finds and destroys the diadem Horcrux, which is cool. For more
so as
info
far
on
as
that,
they know, like, that might be the last Horcrux. That's as far as they think, maybe, right?
they think that they suspect that Nagini is a Horcrux.
Okay, I didn't know if they actually knew that. Or
I think that they did.
Yeah, you're right.
They're like, oh, the snake is one.
Yeah,
so
but
they think they have to
all
kill
as far as
Nagini
I
and
know.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Harry witnesses Voldemort murdering Snape in order to take possession of Dumbledore's powerful wand. And the logic that he uses to get to this is that Snape killed Dumbledore, and Dumbledore at that time was the owner of the Elder Wand. But he actually kind of got it wrong, because it wasn't who killed Snape, it was who disarmed him, which is also a reflection of the worldview that has led Voldemort to the place that he is. That he's like, oh, killing is what makes someone the master of another person, not so much instead of like disarming someone. Non-violence versus violence. It's an interesting thing.
Yes.
So Harry, in a moment of compassion, goes to Snape because he didn't Avada Kedavra him. He just sent Nagini to kill him, which is really rude.
Yeah.
And so
it's also like brutal.
Yeah. So like Harry rushes over there and he's like, whatever. And then Snape is like, here, take my memories and go to the Pontiff. Like, you have to know the truth. Okay.
And he says,
so in one moment as a reader, you're like, oh yes, Snape is dead. Rightfully. He gets what he deserves. Mm-hmm. And the next moment.
What made me the most mad about, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, because Snape says, like, look at me before he dies. Just so you know, the movies, they didn't make Harry have the same color eyes as his mom, and that will never not haunt me, because like Daniel Radcliffe, I think, has blue eyes in the book. He's supposed to have green eyes, but they could have cast someone to play his mom who is barely in this, who also
or given her color
eyes.
context.
It just makes no sense. Yeah, it was just so stupid. Anyways, so yeah, in 1 minute you're like, yeah, take that, Snape. You're finally dead. You killed Dumbledore, and then literally like the next page,
he's up in Dumbledore's office in the Pontiff, and he sees the truth. And the truth is that Snape was always in love with Lily. And as an extension of his love, and she chose James, as an extension of his love for her, he committed his life to basically being a double agent and working with Dumbledore, and then also, making Voldemort believe that he was one of his loyal servants, in order to protect Harry, even to the point that he was willing to kill Dumbledore.
Dumbledore asked him to kill him. That wasn't. It was part of Dumbledore's plan. Yeah. I remember also reading this for the first time, and I was crying so hard I had to put the book down, go to the bathroom, take a shower or something, because I couldn't see the pages. I was just sobbing so hard, because it is such a gut punch. If you have never read these books and you're just for some reason listening to this, I don't know why, but thank you. But there's no way to explain, again, especially when you're 14 and you don't have a critical eye and you love Dumbledore because he is portrayed to be this great person, and you hate Snape, and there's no nuance between those two things, and then Snape kills Dumbledore, so you know for sure he's evil, and then all of a sudden to have that rug pulled out from under you was so upsetting.
Really
And on the look back, like, yeah, Snape is complicated and probably not a good person necessarily, but it's just like you feel so bad for like 5 seconds ago. I was literally so happy that this guy died, and now I'm like, oh my god, he was a good guy the whole time. Didn't even know. So
I think like the part of me that wants to see the world as black and white and kind of like make judgments about people, like the urge of that part of me tells me that Snape is still actually a bad person because he didn't do all of this stuff for like the good of the cause. He did it because of his love for Lily. Right. And he didn't really care about Harry. He really only cared about Lily. And so this is someone who's like obsessed and could never let go. And so he should be judged according to
And he did still kind of hate Harry. You know?
He did.
Like he wanted to protect him for Lily maybe, but he also saw a lot of James who he hated. So like there was
so it wasn't about Harry at all.
An 11-year-old.
And it also wasn't about like defeating the wizard Nazis. It was about like preserving this part of Lily that lived on.
Obsession, yeah.
But then the other side of me that is able to understand nuance and understands that the world doesn't operate in like just black and white, but lots of shades of gray, is like, this is a really complex character who actually had the capacity to love something so much he was willing to go to this extreme. And he's like a complicated person. So he's a really interesting character.
Totally agree. Totally. I think Snape fascinates me. And if you, again, go back to our fan fiction episode, I wrote fan fiction about Snape and Lily's relationship. Because I think it's just so sad to me. Like all of it's sad. And yeah, it is complex. As an adult, I can see it as more complex.
Harry learns all of this stuff about Snape, but the most important thing that he learns is that he is a Horcrux.
Yeah, which from a conversation that Snape had with Dumbledore. So again, confirmation, Dumbledore knew all along.
Dumby knew, didn't tell Harry. Mm-hmm. No one told Harry. Mm-hmm. And so that's really messed up. And so he's like, okay, I got to go die. So he goes and tells the homies.
I like how he just accepted this. Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go die. And Hermione's like, no. But she also had already figured this out too and hadn't told him. So whatever. So Harry goes and he realizes he's holding the snitch that Dumbledore gave him. And he realizes that when he caught the first snitch of his Quidditch career, he actually caught it in his mouth. And that snitches have touch memories. And so when he touched the snitch for the first time, it didn't open, but if he never touched it to his lips. So he touches it to his lips, it opens up, and inside is the resurrection stone. He does this as he's about to go into the Forbidden Forest to meet Voldemort to die, and it conjures like the spirits or the ghosts of his mom, dad, and Sirius.
Sirius is there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Lupin, I think.
Yeah, I think Remus is there. He already died earlier with Tonks.
Yeah.
They're all there. So sad.
Oh, yeah, and they had a son. So that sucks. And he like talks to them. They're like, we're so proud of you. We love you. You know, whatever. So he goes in there. He gets Avada Kedavra, and he appears to be dead. However, the part of him that died was the seventh or the eighth of Voldemort that was inside of him is what died from the killing curse. And so he's actually still alive, but he's just like chilling on the ground.
Yes. And I think my understanding is that like Voldemort couldn't kill him because he used his blood to bring himself alive, and then the curse, the protective charm of Lily's love was inside of Voldemort. So like if someone else had tried to kill Harry, he might have actually died, but I think because Voldemort had used Harry's blood to bring himself back to life, he couldn't kill Harry.
Right, back in book 4 when they were in like the cemetery with Cedric being dead.
Yes. So then he's in this like heaven train station.
Right.
Where he sees who else other than Dumbledore.
Yeah, his enemy. And he's also there with like this weird chicken wing looking thing, which is like, the part of Voldemort that just died in the confrontation. It was really gross. Yeah. Dumbledore says a bunch of cryptic shit that he doesn't explain. It's all very weird. He never says anything. And he's like, get on a train.
Straightforward.
So then he just like comes back to the mortal realm, and Voldemort picks him up and takes him back to like all the homies at Hogwarts. And he's like, look, he's dead. Like, what are you going to do now? And then this is where my hero,
the boy who lives, come to die.
Yes, this is my hero. Neville is like, we're still going to fight you because that's what Harry would have wanted, whatever. And he reaches into the sorting hat, which is somehow just like some sort of debris on the ground. And he pulls out the sword of Gryffindor and he uses it to kill Nagini. Mm-hmm. Harry jumps up, runs away. He gets in a confrontation with Voldemort. He kills Voldemort.
Yes.
And
he disarms him.
Yeah, he disarms him.
Avada Kedavra, Expelliarmus! And then they meet in the air again.
Why did he use Expelliarmus?
Exactly. This is my question about Harry. I mean, good for him. He's great. He's nonviolent, pacifist, whatever. But he was ready to kill Sirius Black for betraying his parents. But this is the guy who did the killing. And you're not even willing to do an Avada Kedavra. But again, that's his like go-to move, as we have seen countless times throughout the series, that he will hit anyone with the Expelliarmus. So
that's his,
I guess it makes sense in that way. But it like kind of reverberates, and eventually the curse goes back to Voldemort and he dies. And a key difference also in the book and movie is, in the book, like, I think they should have kept it like this, because Voldemort dies and his body is there, and it's like, oh, he's just a man after all. Like, he's still just a human, he may have done all this weird stuff, but he's also mortal, and we were able to kill him and he's dead. But in the books, he like evaporates, or in the movies, he like evaporates and his body turns into dust, like, Endgame style. And it's like, okay, that's weird, because the first time he disappeared and you didn't know for sure that he was dead. I don't know. It was just a weird choice, but
burying his body.
His body is laying there. Yeah.
So that's good. Harry realizes that the Elder Wand is his. It just happened in the book or just the movie that he like rips up the Elder Wand and
he gets the Elder Wand. In the book, he uses the Elder Wand to mend his wand, because his wand had been broken at some point. Either, I guess, in this ending part, I don't know. But yeah, at some point his wand had been broken, so he just fixes his original wand, and then I think maybe he buries the Elder Wand or something.
Oh, like yeah, that was another reason. That was another reason why the wand couldn't kill Harry, is because he was technically the owner of the wand.
The owner, right?
And Voldemort tried to curse him with his own wand, and it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, so he does something with it, but he doesn't destroy the Elder Wand. In the movie, he just like breaks it in half and throws.
He like chucks it like into a ravine, and I'm like, these people are wizards. Like, they could find this. This is not effective, but whatever. All right, so epilogue. 19 years later.
This is
eye roll. Why'd you just roll? Okay, why'd you roll your eyes?
I roll my eyes because the names that Harry chooses for
his kids are so
children
dumb.
To me, it's like, what is the point of this? What is the point?
Okay, so Harry is married to Ginny. They have a kid named Albus Severus. They have a kid named James, right? What are his kids' names?
Like, I only remember Albus Severus. Hold on, let me Google this. Okay, James Sirius, which is valid. James Sirius, take that. Albus Severus and Lily Luna.
They're like, we can't think of any name that we don't already know.
Yeah, except people we love that are dead.
And then Ron and Hermione are married. And it's like implied that she's like the Minister of Magic, right?
Yeah, I think so, or
Yeah.
something government. Yeah, and then Harry becomes a wizard cop. Again, I also don't like that. I think Harry, I hate it so much, but I think Harry, like, he had been through war his entire childhood. I don't think he would have become a wizard cop. I think he would have been like, I'm gonna go teach.
Yeah, I thought he
like,
was non-violent. I
know.
thought that was his whole principle.
Yes. So what's he gonna do? Expelliarm the criminals?
Whatever. And Neville is the professor of herbology, which is really cute.
See, that's good. That's valid.
Love that. And Draco is there too.
Yeah.
But
he's
not
like,
in
okay,
not
chill.
in my understanding of what happened.
Yeah, not my epilogue.
not my epilogue. So anyways, it is what it is, and it's over, and his scar doesn't hurt anymore. And I think when I finished the books, I was like, this was the ending. This was good. I feel closure.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't like the kids' names, but everything else I feel fine about with the epilogue. I mean, I don't love their Harry's like profession either. But I do think also I just feel like he would have had a deep distrust of the government, even though like now Hermione's in it, I guess. Like they were constantly betraying him at every point, so. But I do remember really liking this ending. I think it's hard to have any kind of series and end it on a positive note, especially a 7-book series, especially one that is extremely popular. And, by the time she wrote this ending, it was a very popular series already. So I think it's hard to like land the plane in a way that feels good. And maybe the epilogue was like an attempt at fan service of like, here's your acknowledging your favorite heroes. But again, like, it's not great, but I think overall wrapped up very well.
I think as I'm saying this, one thing that I would have liked to see more is an acknowledgement that the threat of evil didn't end with Voldemort.
Yeah, that's real.
And that Voldemort, again, was just a wizard who went dark, but that anyone could do that. And that, like, we have not made systematic changes to the wizarding world. Like, why do we have this one house at Hogwarts that
exactly
like why we still haven't changed that? So all of the systems that exist in this world are still set up to produce another extremely dark generational wizard.
Yeah, like it's happened before with Grindelwald. It happened not that much later with Voldemort, and
but we're not making structural
again.
changes.
Yes,
we're not changing laws. We're not doing like deep racial justice work on an individual level. But
yeah,
whatever.
And we know all about that in the United States of America.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't do something different, you're just gonna keep doing the same thing.
No way, really.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there you have it.
So we finally did it.
And we will
good
not
luck editing this episode and getting it down to a reasonable
I will
length.
put this off for a while. Anyways, thank you. And here we are. And
all right.
Stick to the Harry Potter fan fiction, which we love to talk about. So stick to that.
Yeah, we love talking about that. We love reading it. We love participating in it. Good stuff. Okay. I can share a book or two that I read recently.
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
One book I read recently, I've been reading a lot of graphic novels. I read Genderqueer by Maya Kobabe.
Cool.
This is a book that came up a lot in our banned books episode, but neither of us had ever read it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a really good memoir about like figuring out your gender and what that means in the world. And I think that the fear around it is pretty overhyped, and maybe I wouldn't recommend it to like an elementary reading level. Like there's some,
sure. Yeah.
But like high schoolers, middle schooler, like I feel like people could
handle it.
Yeah, they can very much handle it. But anyways, it was really good. And then I also read, so I'm glad I read it so that now in conversations about banned books, I can have more context. Like I actually remember like some clips from some congressional hearings where they were talking about this book and like reading excerpts from it, and I'm like, wow, those were so taken out of context. Like, it's so alarmist and crazy. Whatever.
Yes.
Anyways, and then I also read Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. It was really good. This is a book that I've had on hold at the library for a long time that I just kept extending and like, give it to me again after 7 days. Give it to me again after 7 days. But it is historical romance, but the premise is really kind of unique and cool for the genre. It's about the main character, Annabelle, who is the daughter of a pastor out in the country. And she wants to go to Cambridge because they just started admitting women, but she gets a scholarship to go there under the terms that she helps with this women's suffragist movement to help repeal the Married Women's Property Act, which makes it so that when a woman gets married, her property transfers to her husband, and only people who own property can vote.
Right.
So it effectively makes it so that no women can vote. Also, people who don't own property, which is also another very big issue.
Right.
But so really anyone who's in the working class. But so she goes there, she's working as part of the suffragist movement, and she is assigned to this one duke in particular who is very influential and who also happens to have been assigned by the Queen to help get the Tory party reelected, and their whole ambition is against the women's suffragist movement.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily align with his values, but there's a lot of other political factors that are making this advantageous for him. So it's really good, and I really liked it, and it's the one of 4 in a series, so I have the other ones on hold, and it's one of those, like, it's her friend group. There's 4 girls that are all part of the suffragist movement, and each book will be about
that's cute.
One of them.
That sounds really good.
So if you like that kind of thing, I highly recommend. It was really, really good.
Love it. Okay, I'll do 2 quick ones as well. I read this book that is so insane. It's called Wedding Night by Sophia.
Wow, that does sound like it's promising to be insane.
Sophie Kinsella. I've never read anything by her before. So I read the book I talked about. It's some previous episode that I don't recall recently. That was Raiders of the Lost Heart. And I was like, oh, I want to read another stupid romance that's available instantly on Libby. And this is what I got. And so this follows 2 sisters, Lottie and Felicity and Charlotte. And Lottie is kind of insane, like maybe one of the most unhinged characters I've ever read. And she, at the start of the book, is like, my boyfriend's going to propose. I am certain of it. And they're out to dinner, and like he said he had a question to ask her, and then he doesn't propose. So she is
What does
devastated.
he ask her?
Oh, he just asked her like to go on a trip or something. Like he had some trip planned, and she is the type of person who like really blows things out of proportion. So he hadn't been like, she was like interpreting stuff he was doing, but in reality he was just being very normal. Yeah. Anyway, so she's devastated, and she has this like personality trait where anytime she goes through a bad breakup, she does something drastically insane. Cool. So she's just truly insane. Yeah. So she storms off, is broken up with him, I guess. They don't actually say like we're breaking up. She just storms off. And that like same day she runs into a guy she dated one summer when she was like traveling. She met him in Greece, and when she was like 19 or something, they run into each other and decide we're going to get married today.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Meanwhile, she has a sister, Fliss, who is like super normal and very down to earth, and is kind of like a mother figure, older sister. And she is going through a really bad divorce, so she's already like traumatized by marriage. And she is like, I'm going to stop this marriage no matter what. Like, I will go to drastic lengths to make sure that they are not together. So it's funny. It's ridiculous. Is it good? I don't know. But I will say, I think so both Fliss and Lottie have POVs. It's like a dual perspective, and they both have like their own romance plot lines. I really liked the Fliss plot line. I think I could have been happy with that being the book. the Lottie is just, she's like the most insane person you'll ever read in a book.
So it's just hard to
so
like
it was just kind of crazy.
relate or empathize. Where you're just like, if you could just have
Yeah, you're like,
these
what
stupid
are you doing?
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I haven't finished this book yet, but I feel so confident recommending it. I have like 5 chapters left, maybe less. I finally am reading Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I've been putting it off because I wanted to pace out these books because I love them so much.
It's so cute,
but
right?
this one is so cute. It's this is like the perfect summer of the 3. If you're going to read one during the summer, I would say this is the summer one because Eve is like silly, goofy, somewhat irresponsible, scatterbrained, but like she stumbles into this job as a chef, I guess, / employee at like a little B&B off in the country, and she hits the owner with her car and they start this like romance together, and they're both just like funny little characters,
and they're both
that are
autistic,
adorable.
which is really cute.
Yeah.
And if you watched a recent season of Bridgerton and you liked the Francesca Lord John plotline, you'll probably like this too.
Yes, because they're just like quirky.
They're weird in
and
the same way.
They're both so weird. And yeah, in like unique ways, but the same like flavor, you know?
It really just, she does this where she is able to make romance books feel not like a cookie cutter romance book and just feel like really original and have their own whole vibe. And this just doesn't feel like other romance books, but you still get that great, yummy, fun, sweet feeling, and it's fun and cute and light, and it's just great.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I really recommend it. Although I haven't finished it yet, I'm sure I will love it ending. So yeah, I have to give you something good with something insane. Okay, bye guys.
Okay, bye.